Hey everyone, welcome to another Painting with Jay. As always, my name is Jay. Welcome back. So grab a brush, grab some paints, grab some models, and paint along with me. Let's rid our world of unpainted models. Yes. As always, huge shout out to Cody Rue. Adam, I'm sorry you missed a spot. So, in this week's episode, I'm going to be continuing to work on Space Marines. I'm working on my Vanilla Marines. I was really in the mood to paint Vanilla Marines after getting back from Adepticon. I have a bunch to paint, right? I have the ones from Shadowspear. I have the ones from another box set. A couple others as well. So a bunch of different, it'll be just from a bunch of different box sets. But that's okay. I have a bunch of Space Marines to paint, and I'm working on them. Sorry it's been a little while since my last painting with Jay. I lost my voice, actually, for about a week and a half, and it was pretty bad. And also, I've been just studying. I wrote a big test the other day for some certification, but that's okay. So let's get started on this week's Painting with Jay. I'll be working on a Space Marine captain in Phobos armor today. Working on him. He's coming along pretty well, as you'll see. By nowhere near is done, but that's okay. And keep working on him, get him done, and keep working on the Shadowspear box set. Let's get started. Alright, so hey everyone, welcome back. I'm working on this Primaris captain. As you can see, he's on his way. I still need to finish the skin tones and do a bunch of highlights, fix all, the rope are going to be brown, bone tone brown, because I wanted it to be a separate color. Same with, I got to fix, the purity seals, but that's okay. And, yeah, so as you see, he's coming along, by nowhere near done, but probably another hour or two on him, and he'll be in good shape. So today I'll be working on the skin tones, maybe doing some highlights up, some stuff I already highlighted up, the metallics. I'm trying a slightly different approach with my painting. Also, here's my librarian that's all done. I had him done over the last little while. I have the lieutenant. So they're coming along well. And I have the full squad of, this is my new base scheme, just a simple metallic, hexy pattern. That's my new, not scout squad, whatever they're called, infiltrator squad. So let's start off by getting some. I'm going to use my flesh tones from GW. So I'm going to start off with some rat skin flesh, and just put a little bit in my palette, get that all going, and we'll get going on the flesh tones. I'll talk about my last couple weeks. Not very eventful, to be honest. It's been a pretty boring last couple weeks, only because I haven't done a whole lot. I've studied. I did watch Avengers Endgame, which all I'm going to say was I really liked it, and the time went by fast. It was not a dragging on movie. I really liked it. I'm not going to spoil anything for at least a couple weeks, because a lot of people still haven't seen it, but a lot of people obviously did see it, since it made $1.2 something million at the box office. That's pretty insane. I figured it would do well, but almost $1.3 billion at the box office, that had to have succeeded, that had to have surpassed expectations, because no movie's ever done that. It's the most successful. No, that's too thin. Let's try, maybe. Yeah, that's a little too thin. I thinned it down a little too much. That's okay. I really liked it, as I said, and I recommend it. If you're a Marvel fan, go see it. You'll laugh, you'll cry. It's better than Cats. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. But I really liked it. What else did I do? I'm keeping up with Game of Thrones once again. It's fun, briefly discussing these things, because obviously I'm not going to go into too much detail either. Game of Thrones, especially last week's, was nuts. And he's got a little beard, so let's put that in. No. Probably just shade it. I do find a lot of the time it's the flesh tones that bring a model to life. I don't know. Whenever I'm painting the face, I love painting the face, especially after you've done the metallics, because I can just cut in the metallics like I'm doing right now, and not worry about getting metallics on the face later. But it's fun to cut in get the flesh tones going. I find the model instantly kind of comes to life to me. That, yeah. I'm going to do a little gray beard as well. Cool. So there's the first tone. I'll do probably, I think it's enough to cover it. Maybe I'll do a second color in a sec. So while it's drying, put that away for a sec. I'm now going to take I'm going to start highlighting up the browns. Actually, you know what? Let's do bronzes and golds first. That way I go backwards. I'm trying a new technique. It's not really new, obviously. It's a technique I don't normally do. I like to usually paint all of one color, finish it, go to the next color, finish it. So I would have done the yellows first because it's the primary color of the model, followed by reds, and then browns, silvers, brown, But I've been trying to do all base colors first, paint them in, and then shade them all at the same time. Right now I'm just taking some brass scorpion, highlighting up a couple of the brass areas, and then I'm going to take some golds and highlight up the gold areas of the model. But it's been a fun approach, and I'm also, I used to use an airbrush to paint my yellows, and I saw a really cool tutorial on Instagram. I forget the name of the person, I'm sorry, I'll gladly give you credit. And it was just using glazes to paint yellow armor, and I was intrigued by it. I thought it looked good, and I really like it came out with a slightly worn out, older approach. It looked a bit older because it was using glazes, and I find that by shading and then glazing over it, it has that older armor approach. I kind of liked it. So I tweaked it to my own, and I've been using it on my guys. So I've actually been painting Ushabti Bone with Xandri Dust, Ushabti Bone, Screaming Skull, highlighting it with white, and then hitting it with a glaze. And it's turned out pretty well. And I like to use non-oil. The tutorial originally used Abaddon and Agrex Earthshade, but I really like my recesses darker and black, so I was okay with that. In the end, it was I like so I went with non-oil, so I tweaked it to be my own. But as you can see, it has some definition, and I think these guys look pretty. They're good. They're good tabletop standard. So as I said, the brass areas are now done. Yep, brass areas are now done, so I'll do gold, 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 gold. Cool. So let's get some, what do I want now? Probably Gehenna's gold. Yeah. So I'm going to take some Gehenna's gold. Unfortunately, my Gehenna's gold is really old. But, let's see if it'll work out. Maybe not that one. I think I have two of them going. Yeah, the other one. I'll try to give the other one a good shake. Yeah, this one's better. And give a good highlight. So when I get to this stage where I'm at right now, other than the flesh tones, which I've waited a little while to do them because I wanted to get them done at the end, all I have left to do for most of the colors is just highlights, right? So it's kind of cool at this point. I feel like I'm further back than I normally am, but at the same time I'm further up because it's like if I just do highlights one at a time, like what I'm doing right now, it should be a pretty fast process by the end, right? It's going to be just highlight up one color, highlight up another, especially while I'm letting the flesh tones dry. So it's a good way of multitasking. I could have technically painted the flesh tones as well and done this part, made it part of the process as well. Maybe I should have. That's okay. But yeah, I'm excited. These guys are cool, and I really want to get them on the tabletop sometime in the near future. Yeah. It'd be cool. As I said, get some space beams going. All I'm doing right here is just working my way backwards, pretty much, because each color kind of cleans up the next. So there we go. And the next color. And maybe a little bit of armor gold just to make it really pop. And then this parts are done. That's good. Yeah, so that's good. If I get these colors done, and I said, so all I'll do is alternate between the focusing on the flesh tones today, and so once that's, the first color is dry, I'll bring, I think it's almost done now, so after the gold, I'll do the next color, and then a shade, and then return to the other ones. By this video, this guy should be pretty close to being done, I think. Maybe not. We'll see. But what else? I've been keeping up with hockey. It's the playoffs and basketball. Raptors are doing okay. Technically, I think we should have won last game. We did play very well. They're up against the Philadelphia 76ers. And sorry, Philadelphia fans, I do believe the Raptors are better. I think they're a better team. Kawhi Leonard is single-handedly keeping the team, well, him and maybe one or two other players, but he's basically single-handedly carrying the team. So I've been keeping up with hockey. Leafs are eliminated. So there's going to be some shuffling at head office probably this year. We'll see. I'm not that upset, to be honest. I didn't think that they were going to beat the Boston Bruins. Technically, we could have. It was a close series, and it was, this is a very close series. We've had the hands up. We had the hand up on them several times, but we didn't win, and it happens. Except this year was a very interesting playoff series. A lot of playoff series. The Tampa Bay Lightning basically had one of the best seasons in NHL history. They were the heavy favorite to win the Stanley Cup and got swept. The Calgary Flames were probably the preferred team on the other side. Lost in 5. Pittsburgh Penguins won 2 years ago, I'm pretty sure, the Stanley Cup. Swept. Washington Capitals were last year's champion up against, they were also the top seed team, there were 4 top seed teams, right? Tampa Bay swept. Flames eliminated in 5. There was Nashville Predators eliminated in, I think, 6 games, I'm pretty sure. And then Carolina, my friend Austin's team, beat the Capitals, the defending champions, in 7 games. So all 4 top-seeded teams, and at least we're not the top-seed team, at least we're number 3 team in their division, up against the 2 seed, the Boston Bruins. Because that makes sense. But, so the top 4, all 4 of the top-seeded teams this year didn't make it out of the first round. So now the playoffs are kind of wide open, right? Because a lot of the teams predicted to do very well. The Flames, the Caps, the Tampa Bay Lightning, they're all out. So now it's a wide open picture. It's kind of interesting. Columbus Blue Jackets were the ones who eliminated the best team in the league. And now they're actually up on Boston as well. 2-0. 2-1, sorry. 2-1. So, and Carolina Hurricanes, once again, shout out to Mr. Austin, my friend from Death Ray Designs. He loves that team too. He recently got into hockey. They are doing pretty well as well. I think they're up 2-0 against the Islanders. So, that's pretty cool. So I'll let that dry. That was just a quick Ungor Flesh. No, Best Score Flesh. Best Score Flesh. And then I'll hit it with a shade, get some character in there, work on the beard after as well. So now the next part is I'm going to take some Scrag Brown and just highlight up the leather areas. And keep going from there. As I said, it's going to be a pretty fast, each step's going to be pretty fast because I've already base coated. My cleanup color in this particular model is going to be 2 cleanup colors. Primarily, as always, my gray liner will clean up certain areas of the model, and then I'm going to clean up the bone areas. So I'll take some Shabty Bone and clean up the ropes, the purity seals, etc. Oh, I should get that done too. There's banner part. Maybe that should have been gold. So what I'll do is I'll paint that brass as well. Adam, I missed a spot. I can relate to you now. I know this should be probably like a paper tone, but I like having the symbols gold. There we go. Cool. Look at that. So he's coming along. He's coming along quite well. Heck, in this video alone, the 15 minutes, you can see a difference. You know, it's nice. All right, so now I'm going to take some Scrag Brown, highlight up the leather. After the leather, I don't know, reds, probably. So let's take some Scrag Brown. I'm thinning down all my paints, as always, with Lamy Medium. I've seen very similar tutorials to this one that I watched on sorry, I forgot what I looked at it on. Snapchat? I don't remember what it was called. That's okay. But it's okay. As I said, I like it was a good tutorial, and I'm just pushing myself a little bit more with my painting. I think it does turn out a little nicer than my other models. Then just airbrushing a zenithal basically approach with them. So I think they look pretty nice. I think they look a little more worn out. I like that look. Yeah, so I'm okay with this color scheme, frankly. And what else? Keep it up with hockey. Raptors are, as I said, Raptors made it past the first round in basketball. It's a busy sports time. I don't really keep up that much with basketball unless it's the playoffs. A little bit, you know, with the standings. But hockey, of course, I keep up with. I am Canadian. And baseball. The Jays are actually playing pretty well. As of filming this, they're about 50-50. The Boston Red Sox have not been playing well, and the Yankees are all injured but still playing well. So that's cool. So we'll see. Obviously, the season is just started, and I am guessing they're going to try to disassemble the team even further. Probably even before. I'm guessing, as I said, there have been a couple leaks that they're trying to get rid of a couple more players that have started to play pretty well this season. And that's unfortunate. So I think they're still in disassemble mode to get some value out of some players, but we'll see. The Jays traded their franchise player earlier, a few weeks ago, Kevin Pilar. That was huge. That was a huge trade. Now, obviously, they didn't want any more room with him. You know, they had a bunch of outfielders and whatever. But he's one of those guys he's been around the league for some time now. He's not a complete senior, but he's been around the league for a little while, and he's only spent the time with the Jays. So it was a little bit shocking when he got eliminated, or not eliminated, when he got, I'm going to say voted out, but that was when he got traded. There we go. So the leather's all highlighted up now. Gives another dimension. Now I'll do reds. I'll take some Wild Rider Red and go with that color now. this is good. Or so Evil Sun Scarlet, sorry. Evil Sun Scarlet. And highlight up the reds. Cool. The Shadow Spear box set, the models are beautiful. Love it. Love the models. That's the thing. And as I said, this year, obviously, as with last year, I'm really focusing on painting and getting all my models painted. But that's okay. I've gotten a few more models in the meantime, but I'm still significantly lower in model count than the beginning of the year for needs to be painted. I've painted significantly more models than I have purchased. Yeah. So, that's good. As long as I am working my way towards ridding my world of unpainted models. Which, my original timeline, I thought I'd be painting orcs till probably about June. And now, I'm painting Space Marines in May. I started in April. So I figure, based on where I'm currently, painting-wise, I should have almost all my Space Marines probably done by the end of June, if not done. And after that, I don't know what I'll start on. But, yeah. I could have all my Space Marines, my Vanilla Marines at least. I still have Grey Knights. I think I'm done with Dark Angels, painting-wise. I could be wrong. I think I've painted all my Dark Angels. Which is cool. And then my Grey Knights, I have a few models that I need to paint up for my Grey Knights. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see. I am really happy that I'm getting all my Space Marines done before I can even, before I figured I'd be done orcs. But that's cool. It shows that I'm painting a lot. But, yeah, I'm excited to work on Space Marines for a little bit. And then I will, turn my attention to something else. I still have a couple whole armies that I need to paint. Maybe some terrain for a bit, for a month or two. Kind of cool. It's like a palette cleanser. Do Space Marine, there we go. So let's hit that face with a shade. A quick Reikland Flesh Shade, just to get it nice and detailed. Yeah, I don't know. As I said, I'm kind of just winging it. Whatever I feel like painting, I've been painting. And it feels good. It feels really good. To have these models that I've had in my workshop for a while. Now these guys I've not had in my workshop for a while, but I really wanted to paint them. So let's do it. It'd be cool. I'd like to have an all Primaris Marine or close to an all Primaris Marine army painted up. Maybe bring that to a tournament. I don't think it's the most competitive list, but it'd be fun. Just, survive. Life's good. Good. So that's when I dry for a second. What now? Maybe the bone tones. Maybe work on those now. Get those started. There's still a few more colors that I need to paint. Right? But it's, yeah, let's get all the bone tones done. So now I'm going to take some Shapti Bone, paint up repaint the Servo Skull, or whatever that is, yeah, Servo Skull, and work on the Purity Seals as well. Shapti Bone, let's scrape the skull, Shapti Bone. Get those done. All the, what do you, face is drying. Cool. So the big FAQ came out, which if you want to check out my full video, it'd be the one posted before this one. I did do a review video about it. What do I think about it? They made some changes for sure. I thought they were going to do a lot more, frankly, based on what the hype, messages were. They were going to do a lot of points costs adjustments. That they were going to really go after soup lists because they tend to dominate the competitive meta. I thought they were going to go after soup lists in general, put some disadvantage into general soup lists. But no, they kind of just targeted two specific factions soup lists. They really targeted Castellan, the Knight Castellan lists, which is typically the Imperial soup list. But that's the, I bring a Castellan, I bring a bunch of Astra Militarum, get tons of command points, surround him, spend all my command points on the Castellan, and very, very few on the Astra Militarum. So as I said, I don't like that. It kind of annoys me, that strategy. And I understand why people do it. It's very competitive. But it is, I don't think it's not, I don't think it's the way that the game was originally intended. Maybe I'm wrong. But it's reminiscent of, I did play a little bit of Infinity back in the day. Back in 2nd edition, I'm pretty sure. It was 2nd edition, I'm pretty sure. And in Infinity, there was this approach that a lot of competitive players used called the Cheerleader Approach, which was basically, Infinity, every person that you bring generates an action, right? So you can have the number of actions, sometimes even more, but equal to or greater than the number of models you brought. So all you do is you bring a bunch of little cheap guys that don't do much. And then there's one really, really big, expensive guy, right? And you would spend all your actions pretty much on the one guy, which you could do. So it was called the Cheerleader Approach because basically the other people were all brought in just to cheerlead the guy who was running around doing all the work. And it was a really boring way of playing the game because you'd see two people play against each other, and it was literally just two models essentially being thrown around, right? Like it was like, okay, I'll move up my guy now, and he'll go around killing this guy, and then this guy, and then this guy, and then you see your opponent does the same thing, and really it was like whichever person killed the big guy, the other one first, would pretty much be game over, because then all your little useless guys would just be like, uh-oh, we're screwed, and die, right? And this wasn't an always approach. And obviously the answer was, if your opponent brought a really balanced list that could take out, even by luck, your main guy, you're done, right? And that's the approach too, is, with the Castellan list, is you kill the Castellan or you ignore the Castellan. Right? Obviously, you kill the Castellan, you knock out a lot of firepower. It's like 30 to 40% of an army points is the Castellan. So if you can kill it just by even getting lucky, you win. Or you ignore it and you deal with everyone else, and the Castellan can't really do much other than blow a lot of your guys out of the water every turn. So, up to you. Pick your poison. Alright, so I'm going to wait a sec, and then I'll hit that with a shade. Yeah, I don't know. It's just... And so that's the main soup list that... Sorry, one of the two main soup lists that were attacked in this FAQ, because it was a very popular, dominant, meta-changing soup list. The next one, of course, Eldar. And Eldar and Dark Eldar have been top. The Ynnari, Drukhari, Eldari combo is very powerful. It's very powerful. Especially now that, like, if all you need is the common word Eldar, it's a really easy thing to cheese out, because then you can take the best of the Eldar and the best of the Dark Eldar, put them together, which makes no sense why they would be fighting together. Right? They're both elves, but come on, they're both, like, they're mortal enemies. One's dark, one's good. And blow your opponent away, because you can literally just fix the problems of the other codex with the other one, like Doom and all those, Doom, Jink. They, you could take an Eldar Farseer and just essentially knock it. Take an Eldar Farseer, apply the psychic powers to the opponent, and then use all your Dark Eldar shooting and blow your opponent out of the water. And again, like, it's a strong tactic. And so you see Dark Eldar and Eldar at the top of the competitive scene as well. And so GW noticed that and went, okay, let's do something to fix it. Now again, these are two specific, let me put that there for a sec. These are two specific soup lists. They didn't go after soup lists in general. They went after these two specific genres of soup lists, which are very popular. There's still the Chaos soup list. The way that they kind of hit that one a little bit was, but it was not only them, it was Astra Militarum, who got hit hard as well, Gene Stealer Cult, but it was primarily Chaos players, is the way that they discussed data sheets. If you bring in Demon Prince, for example, it doesn't matter what faction or codex that Demon Prince is from, it counts as a Demon Prince. And so if I bring 3 different factions Demon Princes, that is my limit for a data sheet, because you can only bring 3 of each data sheet in a competitive scene. So, see, I do like this brown rope. I like that. I like it. It's nice. But that's the way that some of the soup lists for Chaos can be kind of dealt with a little bit, is that people used to bring, like, okay, I'll bring 3 Demon Princes from this group, and 3 Demon Princes from this group, and 3 Demon Princes from this codex, and look at that, like, and 3 Demon Princes from this codex, and all of a sudden you have, like, 12 Demon Princes or 9 Demon Princes running around the table. That doesn't seem right. Made me a little annoyed that certain rules had to be clarified, to be honest, because all it means is that somebody somewhere was trying to bend the rules to the so extreme that it had to be dealt with. I do like the wobbly base. I've had a few discussions with some of my people I played with and my friends, and a couple other things that I think they nailed that one on the head, the wobbly base syndrome. I do have opponents constantly, like, trying to put models where they just can't fit, and then be like, oh, I can put it there, wobbly base. And no, and that one is good. The walking off the table rule, I honestly didn't think that one had, the fact that had to be included in there just shows how silly some people try to bend the rules. The new flyer rules are cool. They returned fly back to the old way, basically, that it used to operate. So now you can use your wings during the assault phase and jump over guys. That makes things a little harder to defend, but I'm okay with that. Assault needs to be balanced back into the game. It's too weak right now, the assault phase compared to the shooting phase. Sorry. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm glad that is in. So that's it. Really, look at this. He's coming along. The shade is pretty dry. Yeah, it is. Okay, shade's dry. So let's tackle the flesh tones. I'll do the beard. But as you can see, he's coming along significantly. Even during this video, the differences are pretty big. So he'll be done well before next week's episode of Painting with Jay. And so now we'll go back to Unger Flesh for a second. Bestigor Flesh, Bestigor Flesh. We'll do Bestigor Flesh. And then combination of that and Ungor Flesh and then Ungor Flesh and get this all done. As Kislev Flesh, Ungor Flesh, yeah. As I said, simply getting the flesh tones done really brings this model to life. There we go. Yeah. So I'm just going to take probably a 1 in this case, yeah. There we go. So let's get this guy's flesh tones done. We'll do the eyes off screen because it's tough to get them done when we're doing a painting with J. It was I technically. Look at that. The new air what's it called? The other new rule for flying vehicles is good too. Yeah, I like it too. The fact that flying vehicles can't block movement. I didn't even think about that, honestly. I haven't played in the competitive circuit in a long time, and that seems like a competitive circuit move. So what people were doing were using flyers, usually Eldar again. Looking at you, Eldar players. I think that's enough heavy shading. Look at that. Good. I think that's some good flesh tones. They were using all these flyers and preventing your opponent from even moving because you can't move across flyers. So aircraft is the rule. Sorry, aircraft. This is now called. So aircraft allows you to move over them. You can't finish your movement on them, so people still use that a bit to abuse, but nowhere near as significant as they could have before. And again, I'm like, wow, that's not cool. All right, there we go. Let's get a little bit of a gray beard going. And then I'll get the gray beard and then clean up some colors. I still do that one wire, that one. Maybe I'll do them green. Sorry, I'm just answering a message that I got. There we go. All right, so what do I want to do for the gray? Simple gray beard. What do I have for grays in front of me? Don't have any grays in front of me right now. fix up a little bit of a gray. And then, no, that's not what I want to use. There we go. There's a gray. Good. Let's get a gray, and then just hit it with a black. Non-oil shading. And then this guy's gonna be done. Look at this. Like this is during the 40 minutes of this video. I feel like I've completed a lot of this model. But here we go. Good. And I'll hit that with a non-oil shade to tone it down a bit. But look at this. He is coming along. Next is my favorite color, the gray liner. Kind of the cleanup color, as I mentioned. Get that done. Yeah. And then we're kind of an easy street after that. Home stretch. So let's take some gray liner, which is a soft, it's a dark matte gray, and I'll paint him up. And I call it my cleanup color, but I fix up a bunch of areas that I cut in essentially. A bunch of areas that like this part, for example, will be black or dark matte gray. So I just, clean it up. Basically, like painting, the area around it, and it looks nice afterwards. It makes me happy. And yeah. So over the next week, I'm going to tackle I don't know what they're called, the new heavy support guys that are snipers. And then, there we go. That'll be my next painting target. I don't know if I'll have them done before next week, so we'll see. But doubt it. No, 3 of them. We'll see. And if not, it'll be the fast tack guys. If I'm done painting them, fast tack guys, and then I'm done the box set. Yeah, that's not bad. At least the Primera side of the box set. Yeah. So one color done. Look at that. What else I wanted? The gun. Yep. The gun. We'll cut that all in. this really cleans up the color. And as I said, I'm painting for 45 minutes now, and he's really in the home stretch. I think I probably have like 10, 15 minutes left of painting total. Of course, I'm going to have to hit it with another couple colors and washes. But it's not bad. Not bad at all. These painting with J's really end in results. That's good. Yeah. You know, as I said, you can see the results, and I gotta sneeze. Bless you. Bless me. I like this guy. This captain can snipe, basically. And you can use a command point. Not a command point, I'm pretty sure one of the warlord traits is that you can give him that he has +1 damage to his gun. So he can actually do some damage. There we go. I'm going to hit the beard with a non-oil. I'm really excited for summer. It's May. I can't believe that. It's gonna be May. I had to say that one. But yeah, I can't believe that. It's May. So far spring has been pretty bad here. It's not been very nice. A lot of rain. There's been mass flooding pretty much everywhere. Ottawa, Montreal. But it's been a lot of rain so far. There we go. Cool. I'm probably going to finish up here. How long have we been painting for? Yeah, 47 minutes. That's not bad. You know, I got a good amount done. I have a couple shades drying, and then I'll work on those areas afterwards. But and then I'm going to paint this piece right here on the base as kind of my final step, because it goes with the base. And some green. As I said, he's definitely coming along. When we started this video, there's a part I missed. So I'm going to finish painting that quickly, and then I will, as I said, call it a day. The handle of the gun. But, you know, I'd say this guy's getting there. Probably another, as I said, 20 minutes, including drying time and all that stuff. And he'll be good. And then, next group. Which is that I've already started them, but not too much. I've just worked on the capes pretty much for the new heavy sniper guys. They're okay. I think they should be strength 5. I was talking with Dave about that one day. I do feel like they should be probably strength 5 snipers because they're heavy. Strength 4 snipers with heavy just don't make much sense to me. All right, there we go. I'd say he's looking good. Okay. Awesome sauce. Awesome sauce. So, I'm going to call it for a day. I think we got a lot of painting done, and I'm really happy with the progress that I did in this video. I really hope you are too. Let's end now. So that concludes another episode of Painting with Jay. I hope you got some stuff done, and you're slowly ridding your world of unpainted models as well. I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I still have probably another 2 years worth of painting, but still, it's nice to be able to knock off armies. Our orcs are basically done. I'm going to work on my Space Marines for the next month or two, my Vanilla Marines, and then go from there. I don't really know what I want to work on after that. But even if I get into July and I'm done, that's half the year gone, and I can start on a new army and get that done. So we'll see. I'm kind of excited to see where the wind takes me this year. I don't really know for painting, but I would love to have as much as I can done before that. So that way I have a nice, I have some armies that I can just bring to tournaments and play with battle reports and bring a bunch of variety without having to worry about, it being painted. And it'd be really nice to just look at my workshop and not see a ton of unpainted models. Yeah, I think so. So, as always, this video is brought to you by my Patreon campaign. Link in the description below if you want to help support my videos. It really does mean a lot. I really can't thank you enough, Patreon subscribers. Stay tuned for more videos. And until next time, it's Jay saying, happy painting with me.